Niggas do interview after interview. They not culture vultures. The culture something they been into. So if you never gave them a view, I recommend you do. Cause when they question guests, they message is not subliminal. It don't matter if you are
programs on YouTube. But I want to turn your attention to this and ask you about Jay-Z, because Daily Beast did an article. And they put, "Don't be fooled by Jay-Z's star-studded Super Bowl halftime show. It's merely using hip-hop to put a band-aid on the NFL's problems with race and exploitation of black athletes." How do you kind of just feel about that statement? How do you feel about when Jay-Z first came into this? He was supposed to be, you know, social justice warrior, which he is. He does a lot of things, exposing the prisons, but dealing with the NFL, how do you feel about Jay-Z's, you know, work with the NFL right now and the halftime show in particular? Do you think he's failed us, or do you think we should give him more time?
I think that to conclude Jay-Z failed us would have to do with what we expected from him in the first place. Okay. I didn't really expect much. You know, I see Jay-Z as a rapper. That's he's a businessman, and he ain't no activist, you know, and there's no track record there. And, you know, business-wise, I mean, I'm sure he's good at that too, right? So in terms of his relationship with the NFL, I kind of figured he is doing exactly what he's doing, pretty much what I thought he was going to do. Okay, yeah, there's more rappers performing there. Well, Jay-Z probably hooked that up. You know, him and Dre are friends or whatever, and that ain't got shit to do with the state of black people anywhere.
Right.
You know, the entertainment is what you got to keep it in its place. There's nothing revolutionary for the community about the fact that Dr. Dre and Snoop and Mary J. Blige and Kendrick Lamar were on the stage at that Super Bowl. There's nothing that's gonna that's gonna give you your reparations about that show. There's nothing about that show that's going to fix the broken black families in America. There's nothing about that show that's going to stop police shootings. There's nothing about that show that's going to stop violence in the hood. There's nothing about that show that's going to help with the educational problems in the community. Nothing, right? It's a show. That's what it is. And so, you know, it's interesting to me because you had Kaepernick, who was in a labor dispute with the NFL. You know, he's mad because they took his job because he took a knee on the job. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get that. But I also would say that it's ironic because they're kind of, so Cap gets mad at Jay because Jay comes into the NFL, and of course we know that they're using Jay to squash out the Kaepernick controversy, right? So it's like we'll get this guy so we can get rid of this guy, right? That's what that was, and it worked. It worked like a charm.
Yeah. But
what the real question is, in my view, is why haven't black men really started their own professional sports league? That's the billion-dollar question. Remember, the Chicago Bears were purchased for like $50. They're worth $4 billion right now. Just 2 generations later, you know, other teams were purchased for $200-300. They're worth billions and billions of dollars. And we've got all the talent. We've got plenty of smart people in the community that would rush to help Jay-Z and Kaepernick form a template and a framework for the establishment of a league. All they would have to do is be willing to have a little bit of vision and make a little bit of a sacrifice. Turn down the white man's shiny objects that are going to give you temporary short-term gratification for you and your family, and focus on the bigger picture that's further down the road where the whole black community is winning because we got a league of our own. We already provide all the talent on the stage, on the field, everywhere in between. Why in the hell have we not created our own sports league? Don't flex to me about how much money you made if you're not creating at least 10, 20,000 jobs in the community. If you're not a job creator, then you ain't shit. You're just a guy. You're just another rich guy. You might as well be white for the most part. The only difference between you and a rich white guy is the rich white guy may or may not have made all his money by exploiting, you know, black culture and selling it, shipping it out around the world. You know, again, I'm not being mean. I'm trying not to be mean to these guys, but because I don't dislike them, but you know, Dr. Dre did the whole little thing where he had Compton on his hand, right? And he's like I control the city of Compton. One of the things that we have to understand is that leadership comes with responsibility. So if I got Compton in the palm of my hand, I'm the leader. I'm the king of Compton. I control Compton. So when Compton's doing bad, I'm doing bad, right? I can't sit here and say, well, I'm doing good. Me and my family living good in the hills. Compton is little babies getting shot in the street, ain't no jobs nowhere, seriously. So the thing is, I want to encourage everybody to sort of reconsider. Like every time you see a video where there's some guy rolling through the hood and he's driving a Bentley that's all shiny and he's got a $30,000 Rolex on his wrist, but he's standing next to some grown man with a dusty wife beater riding a bike and some little kid looking like he ain't ate in 3 days. You know what I mean? Like sitting in front of some raggedy grocery store that nobody shops at. People just sit in front of it drinking liquor all day. You're really kind of telling on yourself. You're really presenting yourself as a slumlord. Because you're like, look, I'm shining, but my community's struggling. And that tells me that you don't understand what leadership is all about, what manhood's about, what fatherhood is all about. Like if you're a father of a group of people or father of the community, or if I'm the father of these children, I can't say I'm doing my job as a man when my children are dusty or homeless or my woman's out here struggling, right? I have a responsibility there. So I would say with Dr. Dre, okay, yeah, are you really the king of Compton? Well, if you're the king, you're not doing a very good job of protecting the kingdom. But people honor you because you're ruling over a community that has very low self-esteem. So when they see you shining, because the white man gave you a bunch of money and put you on a big stage and made you famous, we look up to that. We say, oh, that's so great. Look at him. Look at how well he's doing. And we fall for that symbolism as opposed to saying, well, what about the rest of us? Remember, look at, say, Malcolm X. Malcolm X used to say all the time, he said, you can't just love me and not love my people. If you don't love my people, then you don't love me, because me and my people are one and the same. Muhammad Ali was the same way. That's why Malcolm and Muhammad Ali are some of the greatest black men of all time.